Hello everyone, this is Shihao. Today I'll be presenting my video project based on my internship experience at the Shanghai International Film Festival 2023, also known as SIFF. In this presentation, I'll discuss three main aspects: communication challenges, operational issues, and sustainability concerns in large-scale international events. Before this internship, I had a very different understanding of event management. I used to think that the most important factors were creativity, branding, and marketing strategies. For example, I believed that visual design, promotional campaigns, and audience experience were the key to success. However, during my internship at SIFF, I realized that these are only the visible aspects of an event. Behind the scenes, there are complex communication process, coordination between teams, and operational systems that are even more important. This experience completely changed my perspective on how large-scale international events actually work. This project focuses on three key questions. First, why communication breakdown is so common in large-scale international events. Second, how these communication problems affect operational efficiency. Third, what sustainability challenges exist and how they can be improved. Stakeholder theory suggests that organizers must consider the needs of multiple stakeholders instead of focusing on only one group. In SIFF, stakeholders include exhibitors, suppliers, organizers, media teams, and audience. Each group has different goals. For example, exhibitors want visibility, suppliers focus on efficiency, and organizers need overall coordination. Because of these differences, it becomes very difficult to manage expectations and ensure smooth collaboration. Cross cultural communication is another important challenge. People from different countries have different communication styles. For example, Asian cultures tend to communicate more indirectly, while Western cultures are usually more direct. In fast-paced environments like SIFF, these differences can easily lead to misunderstandings. A message that is meant to be a suggestion might be interpreted as a final decision by another group. From an operations management perspective, large-scale events can be seen as complex systems. These systems require smooth information flow and strong coordination between teams. If communication is not well integrated, it can lead to delays, duplicated work, and inefficiencies. Sustainability is also a key issue in the events industry. Large scale events consume a significant amount of resources, including materials, energy, and logistics. They also generate a large amount of waste. This is closely related to United Nations SDG 12, responsible consumption, and SDG 13, climate action. One of the biggest issues I observed was the lack of a unified communication platform. Information was often passed through multiple layers, which increased the risk of miscommunication. For example, changes in booth design were sometimes not communicated to all teams. As a result, different teams worked based on different versions of information. In addition, platform restrictions in China made communication even more difficult for international participants. A typical example involved an Iran exhibitor. Their materials were detained at customs, which created an urgent situation. The organizer, suppliers, and exhibitor had to coordinate quickly to solve the problem. Eventually, the local supplier team produced the replacement materials on site based on design drawings. Although the problem was solved, it revealed issues such as lack of contingency planning, delayed communication, and coordinational difficulties. Communication problems directly affected operational efficiency. When information was inconstant, teams had to redo their work. Some booth designs were confirmed very late, which created time pressure. Also, unclear roles led to overlapping responsibilities or missing tasks. Sustainability was another major concern. During the setup phase, a large amount of materials such as wood panels and foam were used. However, after the event, most of these materials were discarded, even if they were still usable. This raises an important question. Why do we invest so many resources in something that only lasts a few days? Based on these findings, I propose three main recommendations. First, establish a centralized communication system to ensure constant information sharing. Second, improve operational coordination by defining clear roles and implementing standard operation procedure. Third, adopt more sustainable practices such as reusable materials and digital solutions. This internship experience changed my understanding of event management. I realized that success depends not only on creativity, but also on communication, coordination, and responsibility. In the future, I hope to improve my communication and leadership skills and contribute to more sustainable event practices. In conclusion, large scale international events face significant challenges in communication, operation, and sustainability. I believe by improving coordination systems and adopting sustainable practices, these challenges can be effectively addressed. Thank you for watching.